okay, let's say someone wants to throw a launch party for their brand. They have a side hustle in the city. They want to throw a launch party. What key characteristics lead to event success, and how can they apply it?
One part of it is a great list. So like, who are you inviting to this thing?
Yeah.
Where are you going to have it? So let's like, you get a venue, you get a date that's going to work. Make sure it's not like on a 3-day weekend, or make sure it's not on a holiday or a holiday you might not know about. Check that out, right? Make sure it's on a good date. And then like, who's your list? Who are your peeps? What is your tribe of people? Like, who are the people who you know, you're going to come, but then who do you want to come? Like, think about those lists and how you want to invite them. Make sure that you've got all the permission to use whatever venue you're going to use. Like, don't think you can just like go take over the back room of a bar or some park somewhere. Like, make the calls. Be a adult about it. Like, get the permission, get the permits, do the legwork, secure whatever you need to secure, and sometimes that involves some cash up front. But then grind it out to like get your list and your theme and your programming, and that's what I would think. But Andrea's the pro, really.
Question though, how important is having complete control over the scenario for event success?
In terms of like you're working with someone else, or
like you're the sole communicator with the venue, with the audience, with the performers, with the sponsors. How essential is that for one person to have an event success?
I don't feel like it's essential. I feel like it's essential for there to be one person who's the lead. So we always have like one person who is the main point of contact, but they might be working with 3 other people who you've divvied up the work so that it's not overwhelming for that one person to pull everything off. But those 3 people are in constant communication to make sure. And that person who's the main point of contact takes responsibility also over the action items of their counterparts to make sure that those people are pulling off what they're supposed to be pulling off. But and so from that perspective, you have control, but I don't think it's important that you're physically doing all the work yourself, as long as you're communicating with your team effectively.
So communication
is key. 1,000%. I mean,
you said that with conviction.
Communication is so important from an events perspective, because there's so many little details that go into events. And if you're not communicating, if you're not paying attention, that's when things fall through the cracks. And I mean, events, like I was talking to Dan earlier, and like what makes a good events person is someone, and TK said this earlier, someone who has the skills to plan something, but also can operate knowing that there's going to be things that arise, and how you handle the things that arise day of event, day before the event that you weren't anticipating. That is like how you handle that is super important.
Yeah.
Being able to adapt to like
getting
the
that flow
unknowns.
state.
Yeah, like the things that you completely, it slipped your mind and you didn't plan for it, or it's torrentially raining and you never know, like those unknown scenarios. And that's what I think makes a good events person, is someone who can like pivot and find creative solutions on the fly. Because I don't think I've ever had an event that goes 100% smoothly.
No, there's no such thing as a perfect event. It's impossible. There's no such thing as absolutely perfect flawless event.
Terrible.
You get close,
it doesn't exist.
And you can pursue it.
You guys have any nightmares recently? Any of your events?
Nightmares.
I mean, not nightmares. Dusty, she did an event one time at Franklin Park Zoo, and
gosh,
and there happened to be someone who had murdered a police officer on the run and was hiding in the zoo. She was just telling the story the other day. And as the board members are coming in for this foundation that's having this event, there's helicopters flying, there's SWAT teams out. Yeah. The woman from the board is like, Dusty, don't you think this is a little overkill for security? And she convinced the state police to allow the event to happen because they put all of the event guests in one of the animal enclosures.
Jeez.
Without the animal. But like they moved the event into like one of the enclosures where all the people were like inside and couldn't. I mean, wild. And really, when she's been doing this for 43 years, but so she's got a lot of stories like this. And I think as everyone
has stories.
As we develop our careers, like
for sure.
these stories are going to pile up. I mean, rain's going to happen, snow's going to happen. A performer's going to show up late
or not show
or
up.
not show
or
up.
show up drunk.
Yeah, or show up drunk. And this stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely things with every event that kind of keeps me up at night. Like, for sure, every event, there's like one thing that I'm like, if this happens, then I'm going to like lose it, you know? But
I'm going to demand a raise.
yeah, sure. But like, I think it just has to do with how you adapt to the scenario.
And also how you respond.
Yeah.
Like, meaning respond in the near term, but in some cases you have to respond, I think, like in the longer term. Like, hey, listen, guests, this is what happened. Thanks for bearing with us. We're going to get to the bottom of it, and like, we're not going to let it happen again.
Right.
And I think that voice sometimes, like, I mean, listen, when I was at the marathon one, like, we got bummed. Like, we didn't plan on that. But I think that the way we handled it in the immediate moment was fine. But then I thought the way that we handled it in the weeks after was very good.
Right.
I thought that we did a good job with that as best as we could. You know?